So, dear students, well, this is Asutosh Singh, your English teacher, and I'm here to teach you the chapter The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Road Not Taken is one of the masterpieces written by Robert Frost, where he has described the details with, of choices made by person. Understood? So at first we will start studying about Robert Frost himself. Robert Lee Frost, who was born on March 26, 1874 and passed away on January 29, 1963. He was an American poet. There is a story related to Robert Lee Frost or Robert Frost that his work was initially published in England before it was published in America. Though being an American, his work was first of all published in England before it was published in America. The reason was very simple. Actually, what had happened when Robert Frost has written when he was in America, his writing was not welcomed by the publishers over there. They have denied their work and said that his writing contains some abrupt write-ups in it. Also, he was known for his, but when he got popularity in England, he returned back to America, and after that, he became a major poet of that era. He has written about realistic depictions of the rural life, means village life, and he has written about American colloquial speech, means the story of the American accent, the story of American origin. Frost frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England, even also means whenever he has visited over there in the early 20th century, means what were the conditions of Europe at that time, what were the conditions of America at that time. He has described them in proper detail. He has also used them to examine complex social and philosophical themes also. He has described the social and philosophical themes of this era also. And meanwhile, so we will discuss these things later on. Frost has received many awards and recognitions with the time. He was honored frequently during his lifetime. He has received 4 Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize is considered as one of the best ever prize earned by anyone. He also became one of America's rare public literary figures, and he was considered as an artistic institution because of his writing style. He was considered as one of the foremost poet of that era. After that, he was awarded with the Congressional Medal in 1960 for his poetic work. Means even the Congress of America has awarded him with a gold medal for his poetic work. On July 22, 1961, Poet Frost was named Poet Laureate of Vermont. Means he was celebrated as the National Poet of Vermont. Now read the poem in detail. The poem is Two roads diverge in Yellowwood, and sorry I could not haggle me. And be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and watered where, though as for that the passing there had wasn't really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no steps had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So this is the poem which we are going to discuss with the detail of the chapter. In the poem, The Road Not Taken, the road symbolizes our life. The poet says that the path that we don't choose in our life is the road not taken. He even describes his feelings about that choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future or destination. The important message that the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact on our future. And if we make a wrong choice, we regret it but cannot go back on it. So we must be wise while making choices. Now, what the poem actually is. The poet over here describes that there were two decisions. the two choices which he had to make. And he was also sorry, feeling sorry because he could not make the choices in a better way. And since he was a traveler, he was standing there. He was looking as far as he could look after that where those roads went in the underground. After that, he took the second road, which he considered to be the fair and thinking that it has the better claim, although he considered it as the grassy and wanted way. When he was thinking for that, after looking at those both the roads, he found that there was no difference in both of the roads. And since he says that both that morning equally, when he looked at those roads, those paths, he found that there were equal number of leaves scattered here and there on that those paths. So he has decided, he has made a decision that he will keep the first for the another day, and he had chosen the second. Although he was knowing that on his second path he is going to be laden on the different pathways coming to after that, he was even doubtful that if he should ever come back. Also, he remarks that the poet remarks that somewhere aged and aged ends means somewhere years after, he will be thinking, he will be sitting idle and thinking that whatever the conditions are prevalent today, whatever the conditions are today, it is all because of the decisions which we made. And that's why the poet regrets the decision taken by him. He says that there were two paths. I have taken the second one. What had happened if I had chosen the first path? Suppose that if we take the poem as a symbol of life, the road not taken, it symbolizes our life. If we take the two pathways, the first one is the path to, you can say the pathway to earn money, or the pathway to getting peace, or the pathway to getting prosperity. There are two ways: the pathway to get earn money, that is pathway to earn prosperity, and the pathway to earn peace. If we go on the pathway to earn prosperity, somewhere we will be troubled in future thinking about that today I have a lot of money but I have no peace of mind. And in the same way, if we go for the path of selection of peace, we will be also troubled in the second case also, thinking that it might have happened that I have chosen the pathway of that prosperity that day, and that's why although I am having no money. So poet also suggests that the path which we do not choose in our life, that is the road not taken. Even he describes his feelings that choice which he had left in his past, the path which we have chosen, it decides our future. Means whatever, whether you have decided to study or to leave, it is going to decide your future. It is going to decide your destination. Apart from that, the important message which the poet wants to give is the choices which we are making today, it will have an impact on our future. And if today we make a wrong choice, we have to regret it, because we cannot return back in our life and make the things right. So we must be very wise while making choices. Now let us discuss the poem, the summary of the poem. The poet says that once he was walking down the road and reached the fork. Fork means the deviation where the pathway was divided into two ways. He was thinking that he could walk over only one path at a time. So he thought that he will take time to choose the right. He will take time. And that's why he took time to choose the right path. He inspected, introspected, he decided that which would be a better option. He talked to someone. Likewise, choosing your career, you will not only decide yourself, but also you take reference from someone else also. So he also inspected the pathways which could be the better option, and then he chose that one which seemed less walked over. Means less number of people went through that way. He was thinking he had kept that second one for some other day. Although he was knowing that he is not going to return, he is not going to get chance to walk over it also. He would go further on the chosen path. He would not get a chance to go back on it. And as he walked on the chosen path, he realized that both the paths were same, but there was no difference in it. Now, at that time, he only felt that his future depended on the choice that he had made. Now, let us discuss the theme of the book. The Road Not Taken is a more than a poem about someone trying to decide which road he is going to take on a stroll through the woods. Woods means forest. On a stroll means walking through a forest. So it is a poem about the journey of life. The two roads diverge in a yellow wood forest symbolizes a person's life. Narrator's choice about which road to take represents a different decisions we sometimes must make, and how those decisions will affect the future. Means whatever decisions we are going to take today, they are surely going to affect our future. In fact, think of the expression down the road. Actually, we often use to describe something that might happen months or even years from now. Means something which is going to happen in future. So over here, Frost is making a comparison between life and traveling. Whatever decisions we are making today, they will be fruitful in future. Frost also captures the uncertainty about making decisions. So our natural desire to know what will happen because of the decisions we make is in purpose. He is thinking about the decisions, means what is going to happen. We all are burdened with the thought what is going to happen in future. We always think that at least we should know about that thing by today. So he is also thinking in that way. Now there are different rhetorics or figures of speech used in the poem. At first begin with the symbol rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A A B C D C C D E F E E F G H G G H. Now symbol is two roads which represents two or more choices in our life. Now, at first, let me tell you what is symbolism. When something is used in order to represent something else, suppose that roads over here are used to represent choices made by us in our life, that is symbolism. Now, there is another figure of speech, anaphora. When a word is used repeated in the beginning of some lines, then this is known as symbolism. If you look for the example, two roads diverge in yellow wood, and I could take the one less traveled by. So and is repeated at the beginning of the lines 2, 3, and 4. Two roads diverge in yellow wood. I'm sorry I could not travel both, and we one traveler looked one as far as I could. So over here and is repeated. Apart from that, alliteration is also used. You will find one in the word want in the same phrase wanted where W sound is repeating. First for F sound is repeating, or that TH is repeating. So repetition, there are two uh, repetitions like ages, somewhere ages and ages, hence the word is repeated, and two roads are diverse in a wood. Whole line is repeated in stanza first and fourth. This is a figure of speech. Now you have to solve the exercises based on the topic. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And we one traveler long I stood and looked one as far as I could to where it met in undergrowth. So you have to go through the paragraph and then answer the following questions. Here are some more questions. You have to answer these questions in 30 to 40 words, and then you will be able to understand the text in detail. That's all. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. If you feel any problem, ask me directly on my WhatsApp number. If you are not able to understand the text, ask me directly with your problem.